everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Magic, and today we're going to be talking about Breana Noojin Nix. This story hasn't gotten a lot of media coverage, so I'm going to be reading an excerpt from the GoFundMe page that her sister Breana Noojin put together on her behalf. But this case, I really wanted to kind of shed some light for those of you who haven't heard anything about it, because Alabama has a wrongful death statute of limitations, which allows you only 2 years from the date of a victim's death to take legal action in a wrongful death claim. Now, the 2 years is almost coming up, and I believe it's March 2nd, 2022. So, I mean, it's really coming close, and the family has not been able to, just kind of get any answers of what really happened to Breana Noojin. There's a lot of speculations of foul play, but they haven't been able to see the autopsy records or anything like that. So I just kind of wanted to touch base on this story and kind of see, what messages that we can get from the cards and what Spirit has to say. Now, if you do not want to hear me talk, you guys can definitely check the description box below for timestamps. But I just kind of want to read what is here so everybody can kind of get a feel of what it is that we are talking about or what we're covering. Breana Noojin Nix died in her home in Hayden, Alabama on March 2nd, 2020. Her case has been mishandled from day one. Her husband's uncle, that is a deputy at the Blount County Sheriff's Department, worked the scene that day. Since then, all of the evidence obtained from her home has been completely destroyed by the Blount County Sheriff's Office. Her family has had to pay for their own investigation and has also had to pay several legal fees to try and investigate her death. Her death certificate shows a cause of death. However, the Alabama Department of Forensics states that the case is still under a criminal investigation. The husband is highly suspected in playing a role in her death, but was still able to collect her life insurance. It has been close to 2 years now, and the husband has still not been questioned by the authorities. Breana's family truly appreciates any donations and would love for you to help share Breana's story. So in the description box below, I will leave the link to the GoFundMe if you guys would like to donate. So to continue, she was a 12-year nurse with no drug history. She was found with an 18-gauge needle and over 80 fresh injection sites that appeared to all have been made within the 4 hours of her returning home from her 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift at Princeton, and her husband finding her unresponsive in their bathroom around 12 p.m. The husband's family, including his uncle, were already on the scene before the first responders arrived. He called 911 at 12:12 p.m., and the first responders arrived at 12:14. While they were trying to save Breana's life, the husband was more worried about emptying their bathroom garbage rather than his own wife, and was getting in the way of the paramedics and keeping them from being able to properly work on Breana. The husband could not provide any proof of his alibi about where he had been that day and was caught in several other lies about his timeline of that day. He also refuses to cooperate with Breana's family in regards to her death. The authorities have lied to the family and will not cooperate with them as well. Breana's cause of death was an accidental overdose of fentanyl. 2 days after her death, 2 empty vials of fentanyl were found in the home by the husband and his sister. These vials do not match the fentanyl vials that Breana's hospital uses. They have a lot number on them, but have still not been traced. The legal bills have become overwhelming, and to this date, my mom, and I'm assuming this is coming from Breana Noojin, my mom and I have been using our own money to cover all expenses. Any amount, large or small, will help us gain justice for Breana. So, that is the story in a nutshell or a snapshot. So we will pull some cards and see kind of what picture can be painted for us. It's Breana Noojin Nix. What happened to you? Breana Noojin Nix. What happened to you? There was some sadness and heartbreak around money. Um, and I feel like there was like this place of wanting to disconnect from the husband due to money. I feel like um, the husband was all about money, and I feel like the husband, because I the reason why I say it's the husband, because there's only this one man that's involved that's close to her, and because you have this King of Pentacles here, right? But then you also have this Nine of Swords, but the Nine of Swords in reverse, and then you have this King of Pentacles, and then you have this Judgment card in reverse. I just feel like there was a readiness to be disconnected from that type of energy, um, because it was a very stressful situation. And the Nine of Swords in reverse talks about someone who just is tired of dealing with being unhappy, tired with overthinking about how bad things are or how disruptive things are, and is tired of having like this um, distress concerning money or surrounding money. And I feel like there was a decision to detach oneself from that. Um, and I also feel like there was like I just feel like it was kind of like in a situation where there's no love lost at this point. I feel like the situation had gotten to a point to where that love that once there kind of died out, and her wanting this detachment from her husband was not one that was um attached to sadness. I think it was one that was attached to searching for some type of freedom or being out of a situation that brings you a lot of sadness and a lot of distress. Brianna, what else can you tell us about what was going on leading up to March the 2nd, 2020? And I feel like this is someone who struggled with their happiness and with their emotions. This is someone who kind of felt dead in this relationship and kind of struggled with wanting to be in the relationship and wanting to be out of the relationship. I feel like this is someone who always constantly thought about their happiness outside of their relationship, but it was kind of like this struggle. And I feel like this is something that um, she knew she should have kind of gotten herself out of, because I feel like this husband or this male figure was very draining. But on the other side of that draining, there was this woman that was full of life and full of passion and full of drive and just full of, yeah, full of life. Because here you have like this justice card, and this bottom image is a reflection of this image, but this bottom image is like someone who has been drained, and taken advantage of, and is in a situation that's not fair, that's not balanced, and that's not right. And then you have this King of Pentacles that's on top of this Justice card, and you see all the money is trailing behind him, but this person down here is ashen. It's like the life is being sucked out of her, like the color, the paleness, the happiness, all of that is kind of gone. And then there's like this like probably like this inability of not being able to hang out with friends and have emotional connections to other people. It just seems as if though like her how it seems as if though how she was dealing with things or being forced to deal with things was kind of centered to her home life, to her husband, and whatever this draining of the finances. I just feel like her happiness was outside of this situation. And then it's like my eye is like twitching as I'm doing this. So I know this was a highly stressful situation. And I feel like when the eye starts to twitch, I feel like there's something that's been kind of brewing over time. And not necessarily like it's been neglected, because I feel like it's always been there, but it's almost like a wanting to see if this could be better, or wanting to see if this person could do better. And let's see. I'm also getting like, all right, so I feel like there was somebody in this person's ear, as far as like the husband. So just remember that there's somebody there. I just feel like there's a connection with the husband and somebody else, but this somebody else is constantly kind of nagging this person that's in this Five of Swords card, like constantly like repetitive. It's almost like an influence. But it's almost like a constant, like someone giving direction from the sidelines. And someone that kind of is distant from the situation, but not really. And then I believe that there's like someone here that looks innocent but not innocent. There's like a full-on involvement, and this person on the outside looks very nice, and very it's just not somebody that on the outside you would expect to exhibit these type of malicious behaviors. It's almost like on the one side there's just gentleness, and the other side there's this viciousness, this carnal nature. So it's like two sides of a coin, and I feel like honestly there's these two different people here. I feel like this is connected to the husband, or this male figure that's in this reading, which I'm assuming is the husband's energy, and somebody else. And I feel like both of those people to the outside world has this persona of being like this nice, gentle, soft person, but the other side to them is this carnal nature. And it seems as if though the connection between this husband and this person that's constantly nagging, is that same trait, that same ability to kind of like have this dark side to them, but being able to shield that dark side from the outside world. If that makes sense. I don't know. Breana, what else can you tell us about what happened to you leading up to March the 2nd, 2020? I just feel like there was a total emotional disconnection, total emotional and mental disconnection from this relationship. Like this I just feel like Breana was not in a place or in a situation where she could thrive. And I feel like as if though she kind of wanted a family, and kind of wanted a future. But at the same time, like this relationship wasn't going to provide that. And I don't want to say as if though the husband didn't have emotions for her. I believe that he did. But at the same time, I feel like it was the type of person who misplaces their emotions at times. It's like this type of person who can give those emotions and show that emotional side, but also take away from that as well. And it's almost like trying to figure out like how to get those emotions back from that person. Like it's almost like, I don't even know if I want to say narcissist. I think that's like the wrong way to put it. But it's almost like trying to search for that person's emotions, because it's like they show it to you one way and then they take it away and they misplace it and they give it to somebody else. But you're trying to find out how to please that person. You're trying to figure out how can you go about making this person happy so you can have the life that you kind of pictured to have with this person. But it's also being in a place of knowing that you should be walking away from this, but not necessarily kind of wanting to give up on the passion that kind of was once there. Okay. Let me see. Breana Noojin Nix, what happened in the bathroom on March 2nd, 2020? What really happened that day? What really happened that day? How did you pass? What really happened? Yeah, so whatever seems to be the scenario, that's not necessarily it. So whatever seems to be like the said truth, that's not necessarily what really happened. It's like you have to look beyond what meets the eye. And whatever happened that day was already pre planned. This was something that was already put in motion. And I feel like not necessarily it was put in motion, but I feel like there was in somebody's mind, um, there was a place of where the mind snapped, right? So it was pre planned, but at that moment, at that time, that day, when that day was the day, I just feel like there was like a snap in someone's mind, and that's when the severing of reality and illusion kind of separated or got blurred, if that makes sense. And it was like this scenario was already planned out for the death to look as if though there was some kind of depression, but that necessarily wasn't the truth. Like that was like a pre-planned scenario of how this was going to look to the outside world. And this was involving like two other people. So, like, legitimately, if you have like an outline of kind of what word, like, if you were writing a story and before you wrote the story, you had like this outline. I feel like there was an outline of how this death was going to happen, and this involved two people. And the scenario was to make this person look as if they had some type of mental problem or mental disorder, but that is not necessarily the truth. Breana Noojin Nix, what else can you tell us about what happened on on March the 2nd, 2022 in that bathroom? What happened to you? How did you pass? This did not, like, she did not do this to herself. So, whatever that, that is not factual. I feel like this came from someone who is like lazy in life, who doesn't want to do things in life and kind of wants things to come to them easily. This person is lazy and they don't like to work hard. They like to feed off of other people. They like things to be given to them and to be handed to them. And they have no conscience. They have no conscience and no wherewithal or connection or like heart space for other people. I just kind of feel like this, like kind of being tied down, held down, restricted, tied down, held down, restricted. This definitely had to do with two solid people outside of Breana herself. This has to do with two people who really planned this out thoughtfully. Okay, this is yeah, like I feel like there was some kind of holding down, tying down somebody. Like I don't know if like I just feel like something with the head and the legs being tied down or held down. So the heads, legs, and hands being restricted. But this definitely had to do with two other people, okay? Like two other people who talk to each other. or who are on the same page, or who are like conspiring to do this um, way before this point in time. I feel like not like I feel like there was a point in time where she wasn't able to actually see what was going on, as if maybe there was something across the eyes. But definitely there's a point of restriction and not being able to um like move. Um I just feel like there was like a lot of sadness. Like I just feel like, you know, it's one of those things where I can't believe like you're doing this to me after everything that I've done for you, or after everything, like I can't believe that you would really go this far and do this to me. And it's some kind of like coldness, ice coldness to the situation, to where it's like the emotions coming from another person is unfazing. Um, like it doesn't matter. Like whatever emotions that were expressed there that day, there was some kind of like coldness to that, or coldness in receiving those emotions or those feelings. Like it didn't matter, or there needed to be a point of um, dissociation from emotions in order for this to happen. And I think that's probably why the eyes had to be covered. I just feel like why the eyes had to be covered, because consciously someone like they couldn't have that visual, you know what I mean, in their head as they were doing, committing an act. Like whatever story is being painted, that is not what really happened, okay? So there needs to be some looking beyond what's been said. So whatever truth is there, there's something about looking deeper, or looking between the lines of certain things, to find out what the truth is. And I feel like someone doesn't think like this is ever going to come out. Like I feel like someone thinks that the truth is never going to come out. So I feel like they feel like case is closed. Like there's no way that they would be found guilty, or they would actually do any type of jail time. Like I just don't feel as if though this person or these people involved feel like there's going to be any type of um, resolution to this case. Um, hmm. Let's see here. What involvement, if any, does Stephen Nix have in Breana Noojin Nix's death? Does Stephen Nix have any involvement in Breana Noojin Nix's death? there's these same cards coming up again. These same cards. So you have this Knight of Pentacles here. Then you have this Justice card here. But they're in the reverse position. And it's almost as if, like, he didn't want to see her happy. Stephen Nix, what's your involvement in Breana's passing? This was highly money motivated. I just feel like this is kind of what it was about. Like, sad to say, the death was about collecting money. The death was about collecting money. Because, listen, you have this Nine of Pentacles here in reverse. And it's on the same side as the reflection that's being drained of life, okay? And then you have this Three of Pentacles. Okay, so this is like draining someone of their hard-earned money and just collecting. That's it. Like, it's like as if though you're just taking from someone their hard-earned money and just draining them. And this person just kind of watching it and enduring it. But there was a point to where she wanted to walk away and end this connection. But I don't know why these same cards almost keep coming up, because you have this Five of Swords here again. And I just feel as if though, all right, so this is what I'm kind of picking up. Like, I feel like whatever money that was being like snatched away or taken away or drained away was used on someone else. That's just like what I'm picking up. Like, I just kind of got to say that whatever that was, it was like taking away money from someone else to give to someone else, or to treat someone else. And I feel like if this separation was going to happen, it's almost as if though the money stops, okay, if they were going to get a divorce, or if Breana wanted to get a divorce from the husband. But it's as if the husband, if that was going to happen, then there's somebody in the background who's in the husband's ear or has a big influence over the husband. And it's like, well, if we can't get money that way from her while you guys are together, this is the plan, or this is what we need to do. Like, I really honestly feel like that's how it went down. So the reason his involvement was to collect money. But I feel like it wasn't without influence from an outside source. It wasn't without influence from an outside source. I feel like this husband kind of like emotionally manipulates, or have the ability to emotionally manipulate Breana and her thinking, or try to prevent her from wanting to get a divorce. But I feel like he tried to do it by emotional manipulation. Um, Trying to like get her to change her mind. But either way, I just feel like there was a constant conflict. And I definitely feel like there was a constant conflict when it came to the thought process of the husband, because I feel like he was caught in between two different situations. I feel like there was arguments and not seeing eye to eye when it comes to him and Breana, but I also feel like there was like this nagging outside influence too, to where there was arguments on that end as well. So it almost as if this outside source, if that person wasn't there, I'm not necessarily sure if this would have happened or if this would have transpired. You know, like I just don't feel as if though he would have had the mental strength to go through with this without the help of an outside source. Um and then you have this two of pentacles, and I just feel like there was an inability to kind of balance the two scenarios or the two situations. um okay, so who is this outside source? Who is this outside source that had an influence on Stephen Nix and the death of Breana Noojin Nix? Hold on. I'm being called to like shuffle like this real quick. Okay, so I feel like this other person had some sort of like hold over Steven. Like I just feel like there was like it's so funny because I feel like Steven could emotionally manipulate Breana, but I also feel like this woman or yes, this woman has some sort of like way to emotionally manipulate Steven, if that makes sense, allegedly. But it's almost as if like the connection or her connection with him is not necessarily based off love. It's more so based off control. And I just feel like this other person or this other woman is somebody that he kind of puts on a pedestal and kind of is like enamored with this other woman, and I think it has to do with um just the type of power that she holds, or power that she holds over him. It's like as if he likes that type of personality or likes that type of person who has like that control. This person is able to stir up emotional and mental conflict, and that's the problem. Like this outside person, and it's coming up as a woman. This outside person knows how to stir up emotional and mental conflict. Um, but it's like at the same time, like I don't know, it's one of those weird situations where I don't know, it, it, it's like Steven likes that about this woman. I don't know. This is a very like headstrong woman. Very, very headstrong. It's like I don't know. This woman is very like manipulative to where she's able to um, cause emotional and mental strife, but it's able to have someone's bring someone's guard down at the same time. Who is this outside source and what is their influence on Breana's passing? See, this card comes up again. I'm telling you, this other woman has a big deal to do with Breana's passing. This other woman has a big deal to do with this situation. It's like I feel like she's the master manipulator of this whole scenario. And I'm not saying that, the husband don't have nothing to do with this, because he for sure does, but I'm telling you the master freaking manipulator in this whole scenario is this other woman. And it's almost as if though she just wanted Breana out of the picture. And to get Breana out of the picture, this was just like a opportunity to kind of manipulate the husband to do such a carnal act, to be able to get the finances, because he was giving money to this woman this whole time. But this woman, like this other woman, I'm telling y'all, like this other woman is for sure is like the backbone to this whole freaking thing. Like I feel like if she was never in the picture or never in the scenario, like Breana probably would be alive to this day. Because I just don't feel as if, it's unfortunate to say that Steven has the mental capacity to go forward with this without that other energy there. Like I just feel like, not that he's not smart enough, but I just don't feel as if though he had the mental stamina to do that. Like I just feel like he is just like a pawn, like someone that could be easily manipulated into doing certain things. This is just like a weak-minded person. Yeah, I just feel like there was some sort of jealousy, and I kind of feel bad because I just feel like Breana was just on the weaker end of the spectrum, like just like as far as like if there was a tug of war, like this other woman just is so controlling, you know what I mean? And I just don't feel like Brianna's that person. Like she's just like a much softer person. Like she doesn't have this malicious intent. Like she doesn't have like this nastiness behind her. Brianna has such a softer soul, like a softer soul to where this person like wants love or wants to be loved or wants to extend that love to other people, and they just don't have that callous like personality or that callous like behavior, or it's not, that's not like something that is inside of her, you know, to be this type of person. And it's just unfortunate that um that she was in this situation, because legitimately she really is like an innocent bystander here. And it's like, it's really not about her, it's about the money, and it's about what there was to have there from her, you know what I mean? I just feel like it wasn't her. Okay, it's almost like okay, I don't even know, I don't want to say it like that, but almost like being disposable. It's almost like not having a face. It's just like, it's just the money, and it's not her, you know what I mean? It has nothing, it's, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like it was nothing more than the opportunity to gain money out of this situation. And unfortunately, I just kind of feel as if though the husband saw her as like a meal ticket. Like that's just kind of what's coming to my mind. And I just don't see, I don't think it was anything more than that. I just don't feel like it was anything more than that. And that's the saddest part about it, is that that's all you saw her as. And it's like, there was so much more to Breanna's life than that. And I just feel like she just had such a softer component to her. You know what I mean? Such a more giving person. Such a more like loving person, lovable person. And I just feel like Breanna is probably like the type of person who gives a shirt off their back, and just so giving to the point where they can be like taken advantage of or be blinded by how someone they love kind of treats them. And I feel like there was a willingness to want to get out of this situation and be done with this situation, but I also feel like there was some type of emotional manipulation as well, like playing on emotions, like being emotional with a person 1 second and then not being emotional with them again. And it's almost like Breanna was trying to find ways to bring back that emotion or bring back that spark in their relationship. But it's like, if she only knew that's not the case, that's not what's even going on here. You know, it's like just playing with someone just because. I don't know. Will there ever be justice for the family of Breana Noojin Nix? Will there be justice for the family of Breana Noojin Nix? Will there be justice for the family of Breana Noojin Nix? I feel like there is a possibility of there being some money being awarded. And I feel like there's going to be some ease or rest of ease or some point to where like the mind will be able to rest and not necessarily um be up at night or be focused solely on this case. I feel like there will be a place or a place of where there will be some peace. Um, but I feel like there is going to be money involved, where there will be able to be some type of like um, gain in finances. I don't know if there's like a situation to where they could sue or the family could sue once the case comes to a close and they're able to get a hold of the autopsy and kind of, I don't know. I just feel like there could be like some sort of lawyer involved in this situation. And I just feel like there could be somebody working on their behalf. But I also feel like there will be some peace. Some peace of mind and some restoration to a degree. See, this card keeps coming up. Like, it's starting to weird me out. Like, that card keeps coming up. I just feel like there may be lawyers involved. I don't know. I feel like this represents Brittany and her sister for some reason. I just think that this represents Brittany and her sister. I feel like there will be some sort of peace here. Some sort of resolution. And now I don't know if it'll be actual justice, but I just feel like in a court of law, like as if somebody being convicted. But I just feel like there's money and could be money involved. Can you give me just 3 more cards to kind of clarify the cards that are already out here? And the sister may really reminisce a lot about the past and their childhood and upbringing. Maybe like looking at a lot of pictures, a lot of old pictures, and of that nature. I just feel like there is going to be like some type of peace of mind, some type of freedom as far as like the emotions go. And I feel like there will be some money involved as well, but I'm not necessarily seeing like someone being convicted of a crime, but I definitely see some type of possible financial gain. But I just see that there will be some kind of peace as far as emotions go. And I definitely feel like this is on the behalf of her sister, Brittany. I just feel like, you know, she may come to a place where she gets some type of peace um, and some type of resolution in that area as far as being able to rest. Um, or some type of like closure, if that makes sense. Um, but anyways, I'm gonna leave that reading where it is. And I guess I will just catch you guys in another video.